Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Welcome back, tech fans. I'm Dave Graveline here with another episode of ITTV. I was in Barcelona last week covering Mobile World Congress, the world's largest mobile industry event. If you missed any of my interviews about all things wireless, be sure to swing by intotomorrow.com, where you can hear all of our coverage from the previous 2 weeks of radio shows. Subscribe to our podcast while you're at it and never miss anything again. Let's start off this week with jumping aboard our tech time machine. Chris Graveline is here with another installment of his popular feature, This Week in Tech History.
This week in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell sent the first clear telephone message into a nearby room to his assistant Thomas Watson. "Mr. Watson, come here, I want you," were the first words spoken into the invention that Bell had created. In 1891, Almond Stroger, an undertaker in Topeka, Kansas, patented the Stroger switch, a device which led to the automation of telephone circuit switching. In 1923, a great improvement in radio receivers was advertised. The new models eliminated the need for headphones, which were considered a nuisance because they were so heavy to wear and messed up hairdos. The new radios were also said to have a foolproof design. And this week in 1961, Sputnik 9 successfully launched, carrying a mannequin named Ivan Ivanovich, along with a dog, various reptiles, and 80 mice and guinea pigs, demonstrating that the Soviet Union was ready to begin human spaceflight. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History, brought to you by IFA, the International Funkausstellung in Berlin, one of the foremost consumer tech shows in the world, with a rich history all its own. Get more info at ifa-berlin.com. If you haven't already, stop by our Facebook page at fb.com/intotomorrow and hit that like button. It'll only take a second. And follow our official Twitter feed at IT Radio Show. We love it when you get social with us. There are obviously a lot of cell phones and tablets out there, but there's also a growing number of phablets. These are sort of a combination phone and tablet. Dave has been playing with several lately and is here to share one of his favorites with us.
In my 18 years hosting Into Tomorrow, you hear us talk a lot about loving consumer tech products, but we rarely are ever in love with a particular product. Well, I can honestly say that I do love the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. On the heels of the release, finally, of the much-anticipated Galaxy S4, which we'll give you a separate look at, of course, it's still important to note that companies like Samsung have a plethora of other cool devices still available for you to consider. The first time I picked up the Note 2, my reaction was, wow, this is big! But after using it for even just a few minutes, then going back to my Galaxy S3, it was small. Then I picked up an iPhone and it was tiny. I ran back to the Galaxy Note 2. It has so many neat features, but of course we only have time to share a few here. For example, multi-window view lets you split up the Galaxy Note 2's massive 5.5-inch display into 2 sections, each running a separate application. For instance, in one section, you might want to be running Facebook and interact with your wall, while in the other, be checking your email or web browsing. The device is so intuitive and easy to use that I haven't been using the S Pen all that much, but I should be. It brings a whole new world to what this 5.5-inch Note 2 Android phablet can do. On the original Galaxy Note, you can clip images from anything you see by taking a screenshot and then cropping it. On the Galaxy Note 2, the S Pen can now clip images without taking a screenshot. So you can clip, of course, a lot faster. You may want to cut pics out of your web browser or Facebook app, or clip people from your photo album. You can easily cut out sections of maps or share an album cover to show your friends what you're listening to. You hold down the button on the S Pen, then trace the pen around the item you'd like to clip, and you'll see a lasso appear on the screen. Close the lasso by drawing all the way around to the small circle at the start of your lasso line, and voila! You have that image to work with. The Note 2 can detect the S Pen even when it's held away from the screen. Samsung calls this hovering feature Air View, which gives you a deeper look at many features. For example, you can preview a video file, a photo gallery, or even the body of an email simply by holding the S Pen just above the screen. I think that's pretty cool. Of course, for carriers that actually have it, the Note 2 comes with 4G LTE. Hardly a brand new feature these days, but still worth mentioning, we thought. What is a cool feature that most phones do not have is a quad-core processor for when you need a phone that puts your computer to shame, and a 3100 milliamp per hour battery in case you need your phone to power a Mars rover for about a decade. If you plan to keep it for a few years, by the time the phone's a little old, you may have some use for its NFC capabilities, because there's not yet nearly enough use for NFC near-field communications, as there should be by now, I think. But I was able to use it for entry into Mobile World Congress in Barcelona last week. Or of course, if you live in Japan, maybe you can use more NFC features now. Among other things I'm in lust with, the new camera and gallery features. The Note 2 incorporates burst shooting into the single-shot camera shooting mode. Just hold your finger down on the camera button and the Note 2 will shoot more than 6 frames per second, up to 20 shots. The video camera can also shoot high speed and slow motion video. The brand new image gallery with advanced features lets you take advantage of the large screen and the powerful performance of this cool device. The Note 2 includes a perfect face feature. You can pick the best face for each person in the picture from a series of photos, instead of picking just the best picture for the group. Organizing your photos and creating new albums is easier than it's ever been. The Galaxy Note 2 includes some cool new ways to show off your pictures too. From the album screen, tap the timeline view button in the upper right-hand corner. The gallery will switch to a cascading timeline view. From there, the button will show a spiral and have fun spinning through your photos. You can also share photos, videos, presentations, documents, and a whole bunch of other stuff easily with another Galaxy Note 2, a Galaxy S3, or any Samsung device with S-Beam and NFC sharing capabilities enabled. It has an old folks mode, well, Samsung calls it easy mode, so you can access the main apps, contacts, dialer, and lots more easily from the home screen. Not super useful, but you can use the pen to sign your emails. Hey, come on, that's cool. This screen is just the right big size. Too bad that Samsung didn't license the name IMAX phone. The Note 2, oh, and it does make phone calls too, will usually cost you between $100 and $300 depending on the carrier, but I think it's well worth it. Stay tuned to our weekly radio show as we discuss even more features and benefits of this Samsung Galaxy Note 2 and, of course, the upcoming S4. Have you participated with us yet on the radio show? Got a tech dilemma that you need some help with, or maybe some cool info to share with our audience? Call us toll-free anytime, 24/7 at 1-800-899-4686. That's 800-899-INTO. Or listen and participate via our free Into Tomorrow apps, available on a plethora of mobile devices. In fact, everyone who participates by sending us an audio question via our app is automatically entered to win a pair of Street by 50 headphones from SMS Audio. So if you haven't yet, be sure to download our app and participate right now. For years, we've brought you into gaming on our weekly radio show, and we continue to do so with Mark Lautenschlager. Now, one of our newer staff members, Ignacio Albistu, is here with Into Gaming on ITTV to share his thoughts on one of the latest first-person shooter games that he's been playing with. Take it away, Iggy.
Thanks, Dave. Hello, viewers. I'm Iggy Albistu at Into Tomorrow, and today is our inaugural segment of Into Gaming. Today, we're going to look at one of the most anticipated shooters of 2013, Crysis 3. Now, for the running gun gamers, Crysis 3 delivers high-impact rifles and automatic shotguns like the Jackal, as well as maximum armor, so you can survive those long waves of combat. Now, for the gamers like me who play stealth, I pack my arsenal with an automatic assault rifle and sniping rifle. And I never forget. Also, the bow is introduced for the first time in the Crysis series. Now at first, that sounds whack when you have a shooter that allows so much customization with your guns. But when you actually use the bow, it makes all the difference in the gameplay. So I like to play stealth, so I love to use the bow when taking off very far targets and not getting noticed, because there's no muzzle fire and you stay in stealth mode after shooting your bow.
Hear that? Must be nothing. Where'd he go?
Disabled.
Now I know many of you console gamers are wondering if Crysis 3 had some disappointing lag in the gameplay like Crysis 2 did. Don't be disappointed, because the graphics of CryEngine 3 delivered two things. One, there is no lag. The flow between controller and screen is instantaneous. And second are the superior graphics. Watching the cutscenes was almost like watching a live action movie. Also, last Tuesday, the final DLC for Mass Effect 3 was released, Citadel. For more info on the new DLC, stay tuned for next week's Into Gaming. I'm Iggy Albistu with Into Tomorrow. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Iggy, and welcome to the team. Well, that wraps it up for this week's ITTV show. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned next week when we'll bring you further into tomorrow. Welcome back, whoever the hell you are watching and listening, because we're here and you're not.